Jason from Bohemia Bees. We're here in the shop, and you can see we've got a big mess that we're working through cleaning up. Lots of boxes and frames and everything else. But we are going to take a look at, we've had a super or two, had a bunch of supers actually that we had put in the freezer. And when we go through and harvest at the end of the season, we pull out the frames that look good, and the ones that are partially capped, not fully capped, we won't harvest. And this was one of those supers that I pulled out of the freezer, and it's just warming up. We'll put that on here in another week or so. But I wanted to take a look at the frames because this was a heavy box, and as I lifted one of the frames out, the bottom rails split off of it. So I went ahead and I'm reinforcing the frames, but if you look at these frames, this is a frame of or partially capped honey. So what you want is this fully capped honey up here to harvest. But you can see that they didn't finish capping this. You know, I could probably harvest this. There's actually some commercial beekeepers and larger beekeeping outfits that will still harvest that. They'll do the shake test. They'll test the honey for moisture content, and if it meets on the level of, you know, less than a certain percentage of moisture on a refractometer, they'll still harvest it. But I didn't want to do that on this particular one, and several of these other frames that were just pretty much open capped, with the exception of maybe a little bit on the top. They'll cap them very quickly though here in the spring. We're going to put these on again in another week or so. We'll start to work them with the new nectar flow, finish filling in any of the gaps, cap it off really nice, and then we can harvest maybe an early set of frames for some early honey. How we're going to do that is I'm inspecting the frames really to make sure that, you know, I can get them to, you know, first I'm cleaning off the bottoms of them, as you can see, with my getting all the extra burr comb and such off the bottoms. And then I'm going to take my nail gun and put an extra nail in the top. Doing this one-handed, so probably not the safest way to do it, but, and then I just put an extra nail in there just to get it so that it's, I did one on this side already, so I got an extra 3 nails over there. There's glue in there too, but that'll hold this tight, and we'll put that back in. We'll continue to do these frames, inspecting them, make sure they're ready to go, to be put out here in the spring. And we got to get ready for the early nectar flow because it is early spring and it's nice and warm out. Well, that's what we would do with cleaning up this super and getting it ready with the others for the spring here in the eastern shore of Maryland at Bohemia Apiary, where hobby beekeeping is definitely not more than a hobby. It's an obsession. Thanks for watching.